Hello and welcome to Joy News Prime live from our studios here at Kokomlemle in Accra. This is Joy News Prime with me, Samuel Kojobres. In our lead stories, our Speaker of Parliament calls for an urgent review of the Constitution to curb the Supreme Court after President Akufo-Addo nominated 2 new judges to the Apex Court. We have details from Parliament on a day the Speaker walked out former Environment Minister and MP for Shady also for alleged rude commentary on the matter. Also coming up, damning revelations involving the National Ambulance Service as North Town MP Samuel Ablakwa is said to petition the special prosecutor to probe a supposed shady ambulance procurement deal worth $34.9 million, which was approved by former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta 5 days before he left office. Also coming up in our Thirsty Community series, we focus on 4 communities in the northern region where women are required to bring their own water to the chief's compound when they come in to deliver.
The community was having a public pipe, which we depend on. And then it came to a point, this pipe is not flowing, this pipe is not working again.
Our Speaker of Parliament, Alban Baldwin, says there is a need to urgently legislate to place a cap on the Supreme Court. Now, the Constitution provides that there shall be at least 9 judges, but does not prescribe an upper limit. The Speaker's comment follow the nomination of Justice Sophia Benasco-Esa and Professor Richard Frimpong-Opong to the Supreme Court by the President. We will get you more from the Speaker shortly. First, listen to the Speaker reading the letter from the President.
It's dated 16th July 2024. It reads, Mr. Speaker, reappointment of justices of the Supreme Court. I hope this finds you in good health and spirits. As a result of pending and projected vacancies on the Supreme Court, occasioned by the retirement of Mr. Justice Ni Ashikoti on 2nd October 2023, and the pending retirement of Justice Mariama Owusu on 18th November 2024, respectively, the Judicial Council advised me on 24th May 2024 by letter under the hand of its chairperson, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu, of its nominations for my appointment record of their replacements in accordance with Article 144.
Close to 20 judges since he assumed office in 2017. The NDC have made a lot of noise claiming that the president was packing the courts. The president has appointed 2 new judges. Listen to the Speaker of Parliament read a letter from President Akufo-Addo asking the Parliament of Ghana to vet these nominees and approve them to the Supreme Court.
1. Justice Sophia Rosetta Oduokwa Benasco-Esa, and 2. Professor Richard Frimpong-Opong.
Already, the Speaker of Parliament is signaling that there is the need for a new law or legislation to actually place a cap on the number of persons that are appointed to the Supreme Court.
And so we are being called for, through this letter as a House, to look at the issue of a full complement of the Supreme Court. Should we be 13? Should we be 15? Should we be 20, 40, or 100? It's for this House to decide. And I'm urging you to look at this issue during the constitutional reforms or to pass legislation to give an upper limit as to how many can be at the Supreme Court of a country of 33 million people.
The minority in Parliament say they believe the Parliament of Ghana must be allowed enough time to do a good job on these nominations.
we just engage you on the time left for this parliament to go on recess. We have barely 1 week. And obviously, these are very serious appointments that the appointment committee must do a very good job on.
But the Speaker of Parliament read this letter on the floor of the House. Clearly, an NPP MP was not enthused by some of the comments the Speaker of Parliament made. He took the Speaker on, forcing the Speaker to walk him out of the chamber.
With respect to your chair, these preliminary remarks you are making are prejudicial, and I believe that as representing the good people of Shady also, it doesn't lie in your mouth to remind us of the things that you said. Thank you.
This is a completely rude remark, and I can send you out of the House now. It lies in my authority to do so. You represent the good people of Shady. So I represent the whole country. Please, Marshal, take him out of the House. Marshal, take him out of the House. I will not entertain such disrespect. It lies in my mouth.
The appointment committee in the coming days is expected to announce modalities to vet these nominees to the Supreme Court, 2 of them. This is despite the Chief Justice herself having written to the President asking for some 5 Court of Appeal judges and others to be appointed to the Supreme Court. In the coming days, it will be interesting to look whether or not the President will also be nominating these 5 judges that the Chief Justice has recommended for his appointment. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
All right, let's move on to other stories here and, bringing the ambulance story because government has come under intense criticism after North Tone Member of Parliament Samuel Okudzoto Ablakwa, revealed an alleged shady ambulance procurement deal worth $34.9 million, supposedly approved by former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta 5 days before leaving office. According to Mr. Ablakwa, the deal was facilitated through collaboration between the then Finance Minister and the then Health Minister, Kweku Agyeman-Menu. Now, Samuel Okudzoto Ablakwa has been speaking on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Let's hear him.
It even makes my tummy, ache. And I'm just sick and depressed. Is that when you break it down, $34.9 million is $113,000 per ambulance. I went online, and today you can order fully equipped, brand new Mercedes-Benz, even more modern than what we have, for less. And I've put up in my write-up, I've put up a number of websites that people can go to and check. You can just Google the cost of a brand new ambulance. So why are we spending $113,000 on spare parts when we can actually get a brand new, fully equipped ambulance? Meanwhile, this company, according to the GIFMIS assessment I have done, we have already between 2020, when they were brought on board, to 2023, in 3 years, we've already paid them 150 million Ghana cedis.
For maintenance?
Yes, just maintenance, servicing. 150 million. So if you add that 150 million to this $34.9 million, we are talking in excess of over 650 million, which is twice, actually more than twice, how much we paid for these ambulances.
Let's bring in procurement, analyst Kwabena Tabedu is a management consultant and procurement expert. He joins us via Zoom here. Grateful to you for joining us. Now, where do you think government failed in this particular deal? Mr. Bedu, if you can hear me, we are being told of a shady deal that government is involved in, that government has approved some over $34 million for a company to buy spare parts for some ambulances. But the MP for North Tongue is raising issues with it. And we're asking, where did government fail? Because it looks as though this company that is involved in this deal is even using workers of the National Ambulance Service to execute a business and charging the National Ambulance Service for saying. So where did government fail in all of this?
Okay, thank you very much. Now, it starts with the pre-qualification process. So from what I have read, as of when the government entered into the supposed contract, the company was not a legal entity. And our laws are clear, our corporate governance laws and our corporate law regime, Companies Act, is clear that a company cannot do business without it being registered. So the question that beggars ask is, on what basis was this company selected? What kind of due diligence was done? And this is happening one too many, and it is beginning to be frustrating. Because if the company does not exist, then it doesn't have capacity to contract. And everyone who knows contract law knows 101 contract law, that there are certain elements that form a contract, an offer, an acceptance, consideration, but you must have legal capacity to contract. If at the time they were awarding a contract, it did not have the legal capacity to contract, on what basis did they contract them? Now, there's something in contract law also called vitiating factors. Now, this is one of the vitiating factors. So if it didn't have capacity to contract, then that contract is void ab initio. Okay. So I don't see why this contract has not been terminated, because it shouldn't have been in the first place.
Again, another aspect is the use of the staff of the National Ambulance Service, and the company still charges the same entity for it. I mean, what is really happening here? That you use my staff and I still pay for it?
It comes back to the process of pre-qualification again. If a company warrants that it has capacity to provide a certain service, it behoves on the procurement entity to conduct the due diligence that does it indeed have the capacity. So for a company that is warranting that it sells vehicles and by extension, it provides after-sales services for the same vehicles, one would have expected that the procurement entity would carry out an assessment of its after-sales capacity, which by implication means that they will have to visit its workshops, ensure that it has the requisite equipment, it has the requisite inventory of spares, it has the requisite personnel and tools, it has the requisite environmental management systems, it has the requisite manpower, and health and safety standards. So there's a lot of pre-qualification that should go into it, which I don't think happened with this.
Okay, grateful to you. Now let's bring in an anti-corruption campaigner, Adam. I know he is co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption. Adam, I'm grateful to you for joining. How does this particular development come across to you?
I think Obna described it. One too many. It's just unbelievable. I mean, you hear the company didn't exist, then within 4 months, our public policy, our public procurement policy does not, law does not allow for that. I mean, there's no way a company without a history, a track record of the competencies and capacities should be able to get this single source, $10 million paid. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's almost as if we have no systems in place, nobody checking or supervising. It appears that along the chain, so many points have just been, undermined. One wants to find out, is there anybody who is actually playing their roles within the chain again? So just absolutely unbelievable. And I think that perhaps we've not been prosecuting and sanctioning enough high-level officials. So now it is a free-for-all, and people are just doing what they want. I hope that the OSP is able to get to the bottom of the matter. Let's understand how we got to where we are, where a finance minister could give away $10 million, and you have a situation where ambulances could have been bought, brand new ones, and we are dealing with spare parts. I also wonder how come we are dealing with this quantum of spare parts within 5 years, because it appears that those things were originally brought in 2019, something like that, and we are already dealing with so much spare parts within 5 years. There's something really, really wrong with this whole particular issue.
Okay, grateful to Adam for joining us here. Adam Serrano is the co-chair for the Citizen Movement Against Corruption. Now, two other stories. Calls are intensifying for the arrest and prosecution of two individuals described as the key architect of the Norwegian imposter Paralympics team versus scandal. According to Samson Dean, president of the National Paralympics Committee, the two forged his signature to obtain visas for persons who were not members of the Ghana National Paralympics team, ostensibly to represent the country at a marathon in Oslo, Norway. We'll hear from them shortly, but first, Maxwell Ablakwa was at the Secretariat of the National Paralympics Committee and reports.
Here at the offices of the National Paralympics Committee, not much of activity is happening here. We met a lady here who works with the administration unit who said that she cannot speak to the issues in the media and that we should speak to her superiors on Tuesday when we come here because she has not been given clearance to speak to the issue. So she's the only one in the office. We did not meet any of the para-athletes also here. We were told by some of the people we've been speaking to that they usually converge at the Accra Sports Stadium where they regularly hold their training sessions, especially when it's getting closer to a tournament. Some of them who we've been speaking to on condition of anonymity say they are scandalized by what has happened and they think that it will affect their chances of any future travel for any tournament. I've been speaking to the National Paralympics Committee, the president of that committee, Samson Dean, and he says that two people who all work within the disability sports area are the principal architects of this act. He wants them arrested and prosecuted. Reporting for Joy News, Maxwell Ablakwa.
Away from that, 8 months after a pilot reclamation started in portions of the Galamsey degraded Apamprama Forest Reserve in the Ashanti region, Joy News checks show economic tree species are beginning to show a steady growth. The Forestry Commission has granted Unipower Mining Company Limited an entry permit to begin a free pilot forest restoration project. The reclamation consultants say it will take some months for the 25-hectare degraded portion of the forest to achieve canopy closure. Love FM's Erastus Asari Donko went back to the forest to gauge the progress of work and has come through with this report.
Gullies, wasteland, what remains of 50% of one of Ghana's major forest reserves, the Apamprama Forest Reserve.
The Apamprama Forest Reserve has been under siege by illegal miners. So for some years now, I can say almost about 40 to 50% of the forest area is gone.
But the Forestry Commission is trying to restore the integrity of the land.
A company called Unipower came in as a pilot project to reclaim the mine-out area and to revegetate the area to restore the forest back to its state.
Unipower Mining Limited and its reclamation consultants, Betterland Ghana Limited, started the restoration of 25 hectares of the degraded land 8 months ago.
This is mahogany, and we planted this mahogany tree just last year, November 15th. So today is exactly 8 months. So good visiting.
And it's almost as tall as me.
Exactly. And you can even talk of some of them that is even up to 2 meters, which is significant because that period we planted. In fact, if you're supposed to work for any company and you want to plant during that season, they won't allow that. But we took it upon ourselves and we planted.
The plan, according to the experts, is to grow trees with the ability to extract poisonous heavy metals from the soil over time.
The species that we've selected, we have what we call phytoremediation potential. And when you say phytoremediation, it means that tree species with potential to remove heavy metals from the soil. So the species that we are planting, typically the mahogany species, the Oframo, they have the ability, the potential to absorb and to uptake these heavy metals from the soil.
On our last visit, the mahogany, framon, and other tree species had just been planted, and landscaping of portions of the land was being done at the Odahon site. Currently, the trees, especially the mahogany and the framon species, have experienced a steady growth due to the nurturing methods adopted by the project manager, Salasi Akoto, and his team.
For these tree species, within the next 5 years, we are assured of a whole canopy closure. And the moment we achieve canopy closure, then the ecosystem structure is actually in place. And that is one very key aspect of a healthy forest ecosystem.
The task here is to bring in carbon credit seekers, financiers with money, deep pockets, to help in restoring and extending that good work over there to cover the entire degraded area. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaridonko, Apamprama Forest Reserve, Ashanti region. Okay, let's bring in Martina Abogri, my colleague who is joining us from the northern region. Martina, great for joining us here. So, I mean, if you look at all that is happening, what can you report from your side? But just before we bring in Martina Bogri, now in our Thirsty Community series, we put the spotlight on 4 communities in the northern region where women must bring their own water to the Chips compound when given birth. The growing demand for water in the Tamale metropolis and Arigu nearby areas has led to severe shortages. According to UNICEF, 76% of households in Ghana risk consuming contaminated water, with the northern region being hit especially hard. Martina Bogri joins us, live from Tamale with more on this. Martina, you've been doing some checks. What did you find? Hello, Martina. So you've been doing some checks on this, that when women need to give birth, they need to come with their own water. What have you been finding? All right, so, I mean, this is a story about, women in the northern region being asked to bring their own water to the Chips compound when they come in to deliver. We have this piece for you.
And through their pipes. So what happens is these women would have to carry water when they are going to the health facility to deliver so that they can help deliver them.
The 4 Chips compound offers delivery, but one challenge that faces the facility is water crisis. Nurses sometimes have to travel into the communities to look for water or buy from their own packers to work.
And at times to get water is a bit difficult for them. And also the nurses do go around and then fetch water to the compound, and they even sometimes buy pure water sachets to the facility.
We are joining some women in the 4 community to get to understand some of the challenges they went through during childbirth at the facility because of lack of water. That's
These 2 women, Ibrahim Rashida and Sweba, said it is during the raining season they have water, but during the dry season they have to buy from water vendors or travel several kilometers in search of water.
Until recently, when the rain set in that we have water, when I went to give birth, I had to buy water and send to the facility. We buy a gallon of water for either 2 cedis or 3 cedis, which is too expensive for us.
In this community is water. Until the rain set in, we don't get water. We had to engage tricycle operators to fetch for us, and that is very expensive. The immediate past assemblyman for the 4 electoral area, Abdullah, described the water situation in his community as Demin?
The issue of water crisis in my community is very damaged. The community was having a public pipe, which we depend on. And then it came to a point, this pipe is not flowing, this pipe is not working again.
So that was Martina Bogre's story on, women in Stanarigu who are asked to come to the CHIPS compound with their own water when they come in to deliver. And it's part of our Thirsty Community series where we've been talking about how people have been going through difficulties to access, potable water. I'll be joined by Martina Bogre to understand what leaders in those communities are doing to fix their situation now. Martina, if I have you, what are leaders in these communities doing to salvage the situation?
Story on the health facility where women have to carry water to the facility when they have to give birth. For the past 2 months, the community has not had water run to their pipe. And so what they do now is they rely on the dam who supplies them water for house chores and any other activities. But when it comes to healthcare delivery, they need potable water. So what these women would have to do is to buy water, pipe water from water vendors and carry it to the facility when they are going. What I also understand is that the nurses sometimes themselves would have to go into the community or other places in search of water so that they'll be able to provide healthcare service at the center.
I'm grateful to you, Martina, for joining us with that. This is still the Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Please do stay. Welcome back from the break. Now, Ghana's effort to reach universal health coverage by 2030 seem far-reaching than attainable, as accessibility to medical care remains elusive to many of its citizens. With less than 6 years to end the Sustainable Development Goals on equitable health, Deputy Director of Clinical Care at the Ashanti Regional Health Directorate, Dr. Richard Larson-Rindorf, says the country has only attained less than 50% of its target over the last 2 decades. She was speaking at the launch of the medical missions under the Global Crusade with Kumoyi, an interdenominational event spearheaded by the Deeper Christian Life Ministries in collaboration with the Ghana Christians Council and the Pentecostal and Charismatic Churches Council.
Crusade with Kumuyi is an annual gospel outreach program with Dr. William F. Kumuyi that seeks to strengthen the faith of steadfast believers ahead of the second advent of Christ. Ahead of the main crusade slated for later this month, a free medical outreach program has been inaugurated. Speaking at the event launch, Deputy Director of Clinical Care, Dr. Rita Larson-Rindorf, highlighted the need for concerted efforts in achieving universal health coverage following the country's limited healthcare accessibilities.
We say that health for all by 2030, universal health coverage. But I tell you, we are very far away from it. It's taken us as a country like 21 years to double our coverage of universal health coverage, the essential package that we talk about. We moved from 24% in 2000 to around 48% in 2021. And if we say UHC for all by 2030, we are just 6 years away. So this, for me, means that the formal health service, as in Ghana Health Service, Christian Health Association of Ghana, and the others cannot achieve this alone. We need to collaborate with others.
The medical outreach program is a 4-day event that would see thousands of residents, including prison inmates, receive various healthcare needs. The medical missions will include a primary care consultation, eye and dental care, mental health support, maternal and child care, medication dispensing, ENT, counseling, and surgical services. Senior Medical Officer at the Agogo Presby Hospital, Dr. Samuel Ejay, explains the outreach will not only meet the health needs of the people, but also their spiritual concerns.
It's not just the physical elements of healing, but we look at the holistic person and address their spiritual needs as well. So as we are ministering to them, we also look at their needs. We can use the same opportunity to pray with them, to counsel them, to support them and draw them, because they get comfort, they get solace, they get hope, and the next stage of their life is better.
National Overseer of the Deeper Christian Life Ministry, Pastor Edward K. Dodum, reiterated the Crusade's commitment to supporting the society in whichever means possible.
This is a testament to the spirit of unity and the boundless compassion that binds us together under the banner of the Global Crusade with Komoyi. This outreach is more than a medical mission. It is an expression of our objective commitment to the well-being of our brothers and sisters. We are here to provide not just medical care, but to extend a hand of friendship, love, and support to our community.
The interdenominational event, spearheaded by the Deeper Christian Life Ministries, is in collaboration with the Ghana Christian Council and the Pentecostal and Charismatic Church.
Of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, insists no end to the month-long industrial action until long-standing arbitration awards are fully implemented. This comes after several discussions with the government yielded limited progress towards satisfying the group's demands. With academic activities in limbo, the association has declared not to return to the classrooms until government heeds to their demands. Nana Boachi Yadom has more.
CTAG members initiated the academic walkout following unsuccessful negotiations with the National Labour Commission and government representatives regarding favourable salary scales. The academic calendar of colleges of education has been significantly disrupted, with activities coming to a halt as the ongoing strike enters its 6th week. Addressing a press conference, President of CTAG, Prince Obenhema, indicated the association maintains an unequivocal posture, asserting their commitment to continuing protest until conditions rooted in the arbitral award granted by the NLC are met.
For emphasis' sake, I want to take it that the union wishes to notify the employer that not until the employer complies with all the outstanding arbitration award by the NLC, the union shall never call off its ongoing strike action. Ladies and gentlemen, we are by this statement informing the public that CTAG's strike action is legitimate, since the union followed all laid down processes before declaring the strike action.
With uncertainty lingering around the timeline for settling the disputes, students find themselves caught in a limbo, waiting anxiously for the resumption of classes.
It's been overwhelming and heartbreaking, actually, to come to school for a second semester with the whole preparation to resume studies, especially this being second semester, and particularly for me, I'm a final year student, so I'm writing my exams this coming September. To just realize that our teachers are on strike and that they are calling for certain needs from the government that are not coming forth.
More than a month now we came to campus and we have not seen our lecturers come to class to teach us. And as a matter of fact, there are some course materials that we are supposed to give in, but we don't have any of them. Even course outlines, we don't have them. We don't even know the lecturers who are supposed to teach us for the various courses that we are having. And it is quite disheartening.
It's been 6 weeks of strike by the Colleges of Education Teachers Association Ghana, CTAG. Now the question is whether or not students at these colleges of education would be able to participate in their end of semester examination. This is because affiliate universities have a policy which says students, after being absent from class for 21 days, will not be able to participate in the end of semester examination. For Joy News, my name is Nana Boachi Yadom. Kumasi.
This is still the Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break here. We'll be back with Showbiz. Please to stay. All right, so yeah, welcome back. Let's do Showbiz now. And the queen of the show business, Becky Beck, is here in all her glamour. Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Have you seen my shoes?
Yeah, I have. And
I bought it yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was hoping you would say something about my shoes.
Because, okay, you've paid them, you've paid for them, right?
30 CDs. Are you laughing? Please. Let me take you to the UK and talk about Kavod. You know, last weekend, on Friday, I spoke to you about Kavod, right?
Yes, you
and
did.
It happened, Nasi, Ohima Messi, Nanama McBrown, Vivian Jill. Let me just not talk too much. You have everything right here on Joy News Prime.
Oh, that beat.
Hey, God, praise the Lord. Hey. Praise we are on.
Oh, Becky.
So that was what happened.
But look.
Inside, what happened?
Okay, next time you have to try so we join.
Okay, we're all in the
Because I
spirit.
could have been consumed by the spirit there, and I could be
You're
prophesying.
still consumed.
But I'm not prophesying.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
But the spirit is telling me to go to the University of Ghana this evening, everybody. Shatawale performed there.
Oh.
Please, Shatawale.
Oh. Okay.
Raise, do this.
This?
No, that. That's for Shatawale.
So raise it. Okay.
So that's how we end the news this evening. I miss, going out for these outdoor events. I haven't been out in a very long time.
Really, because of what happened the other time?
Sort of.
I have to get to it.
I'll be back.
Really?
I'll be back.
Anyway,
yeah.
But that was a powerful crowd there.
Yeah.
And the Shatta name, the Shatta brand, it carries you everywhere.
SM follow.
All right. Okay, so
they should remember to brush their teeth this evening and when they wake up tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Because Pepsodent is all you need.
Exactly.
Pepsodent. With Pepsodent, every smile
matters. So that's like Becky's smile. Do grab your Pepsodent and use today. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, thanks for being a part of us.
Yeah.
There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Up next is Pius Kojo Baka with Prime Business. Thanks so much for your company.
Bye.